Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive deep into something that's woven into, well, pretty much everything we do, our super complex, always changing relationship with technology.
Let's just start with the big question, right off the bat. The device in your pocket, right now, is it truly a tool for connection? Or has it become more of a source of distraction? It's a tough one, and that central tension is exactly what we're going to explore today.
And our guide for this whole thing is this incredible book called Wellbeing with Technology. It's edited by Professor Latika Varma, Dr. Vachaspati Dubey, and Dr. Priyanka Patak. And what's so cool about it is that it isn't just one opinion. It's a collection of 25 different research papers from a whole range of experts. So we're getting a ton of different angles on our digital lives.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with the big picture, this idea of a digital double-edged sword. Then, we'll look at how it affects young developing minds. After that, we'll talk about adulthood and our digital lives. Then, some good news, how to find balance. And finally, we'll look to the future with AI and how we can actually shape what comes next.
Okay, first up, before we get into the nitty-gritty, we really have to set the stage. To really get the impact of technology, you first have to understand the sheer scale of it all. It's huge. Just look at this number. According to Kumari Aditi's paper in the book, this was the number of social media users on the planet back in 2019, 3.5 billion, and you know that number has only gone up. It just goes to show how deeply this stuff is baked into our world.
Right, so with that massive scale comes some pretty profound impacts, especially on minds that are still developing. And this brings us to a huge concern for basically every parent and teacher out there. What is all this tech doing to our kids and teenagers?
So a couple of papers in this collection really tackle this head-on. Dr. Vasudhara Parihar gives us this great overview of how screen time affects child development in general, and then Vipash Kumar Gupta and one of the editors, Dr. Latika Varma, they zoom way in on a really specific concern, our attention spans.
And this number, wow, this really brings their point home. In their study, Gupta and Varma found that college students were spending, on average, 3.8 hours a day on social media. Per day. That's practically a part-time job, where the only task is scrolling. So you have to ask, what's the cost of that?
Well, this table shows it pretty clearly. What the researchers did was compare students who regularly watch short-form content, like Reels, TikToks, to those who don't. And the result was striking. The short-form group had significantly lower attention scores. It's a real suggestion that this constant, rapid-fire stream of content actually has a measurable effect on our ability to just focus.
But hey, it's not just about the kids, right? We adults are trying to navigate our own digital minefield, juggling work, life, our mental health, all in a world that never seems to turn off and is always comparing.
This quote from a study by Ranjit Kumar Singh just feels so real. It perfectly captures that social media roller coaster, doesn't it? One minute you're inspired, the next you're feeling a bit jealous. It's that weird mix of connection and comparison that so many of us experience every time we scroll.
And that emotional roller coaster, it has real consequences. Research by Shala Bano, who studied working adults in Patna, found this really clear negative link. Simply put, as addiction to social networking sites went up, psychological well-being went down. It's a pretty stark visual of a trade-off we might be making without even realizing it.
But here's the good news. We're not helpless here. The book is full of actual, practical things you can do. Simple stuff, like using apps to set time limits, or consciously curating your feed so it's more positive. Muting notifications to get your focus back. Or even just practicing mindful scrolling, like actually asking yourself, how does this make me feel? These are small but powerful steps to take back control.
So, this begs the question, is technology just the bad guy? Not at all. And this is one of the most hopeful parts of the book. It really explores how we can find a better balance by mixing ancient wisdom with some very modern tools. Let's start with the ancient stuff. There's a really fascinating paper by Professor Yashwant Kumar that looks at how yogic practices affect athletes, and his research scientifically confirmed what people have known for centuries. Yoga helps with everything from flexibility and strength to mental stuff like reducing anxiety.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. The book shows us that technology doesn't have to be the enemy of well-being. It can actually be a powerful tool to amplify it.
Dr. Jyoti Kumari's paper explores this amazing fusion of old and new. We now have things like a smart yoga mat that can literally correct your posture, or a wearable headband that gives you real-time feedback on your meditation, even sensors that analyze your breathing. This is what it looks like when technology is used to serve mindfulness, and it's pretty exciting.
All right, looking ahead, you can't talk about tech today without talking about AI. So let's dig into its game-changing and, yeah, pretty controversial role in the future of education. This is the big, scary question on everyone's mind, right? And it's a central theme in the paper by Professor Kumari Sadhana-Prasad. Are we actually heading toward a future where human teachers are a thing of the past? Well, the general feeling from the research, including insights from Dr. Raj Kishore Kumar, is probably not. It's looking more like a hybrid future. Think about it. AI is incredible at personalized learning plans and giving instant feedback. But human teachers? They provide the stuff you can't program: emotional intelligence, mentorship, real-life wisdom. The future probably isn't human versus machine, it's human with machine. But of course, it's not all smooth sailing. The book is really clear about the major ethical hurdles we have to figure out. Things like bias in algorithms, the risk of making the digital divide even wider, who owns student data, and how do we make sure we don't start devaluing actual human creativity and effort? These are the huge questions we have to answer as we move forward.
And all of this brings us to our final and maybe most important point. The future isn't just something that happens to us, it's something we are actively building one choice at a time.
This quote from Marshall McLuhan, which is highlighted right in the book's preface, just nails it. It's a two-way street. The tools we build end up reshaping our brains and our societies. And what that means is that we have to be incredibly intentional about what we're creating.
And I just want to leave you with this really beautiful thought from one of the contributors. It's not about choosing technology or humanity, tech or nature. The real challenge, and honestly the biggest opportunity, is finding the harmony between them. So the question is, how will you choose to shape your relationship with technology to better serve your own well-being?